Normal physiological pattern of insulin secretions and certain level of serum insulin is maintained over 24 hours is called basal insulin. Ideal insulin therapy in diabetes mellitus should mimic normal secretion pattern of insulin. Types of insulin: rapid acting, short acting, intermediate acting, long acting conventional insulin, and long acting insulin analogs. Rapid acting insulin analogs are Lispro, Aspart, Glulicin. Onset of rapid acting insulin analogs less than 0.5 hours. Peak action at 0.5 to 2.5 hours. Duration 3 to 4.5 hours. Short acting insulin is regular insulin or soluble insulin. Onset of action is at 0.5 to 1 hours. Peak action at 1 to 4 hours, and duration of action 4 to 8 hours. Intermediate acting insulin is isofen or lenti. Onset of action at 1 to 3 hours, peak action at 3 to 8 hours, and duration 7 to 14 hours. Long-acting conventional insulin is bovine ultralenti. Onset of action at 2 to 4 hours, peak action at 6 to 12 hours, and duration of action 12 to 30 hours. Long-acting insulin analogs are glargine, detemir, and degludec. Onset of action is at 1 to 2 hours. Peak action is none, and duration of action 18 to 26 hours. Advantage of insulin analog over conventional insulin: mealtime flexibility, less absorption variability, peak-less profile of basal insulin, less chance of early post-meal hyper and late post-meal hypoglycemia by rapid-acting bolus insulin. Different types of regimen. Once daily regimen is using intermediate or basal analog at bedtime. Twice daily regimen is using premixed or co-formulations or split mixed insulin. Twice daily regimen has less mealtime flexibility. Multiple daily injection including basal plus and basal bolus regimen. Basal plus regimen is using on long-acting analog at bedtime plus on injection of rapid-acting insulin with the largest meal. Basal bolus insulin is using on long-acting analog at bedtime plus 2 or 3 injections of rapid-acting analog with meal. Continuous subcutaneous insulin infusion means using insulin pump. Different insulin device. This slide shows insulin syringe, insulin pen, and insulin pump. Injection technique. Injection are usually given in deep subcutaneous tissue at 45 to 90 degree angle by 2 fingerprints of skin. A wait of 50 seconds after pushing in the plunger helps to ensure complete expulsion of insulin. Injection site: abdomen, front or lateral thigh, lateral aspect of arm, lateral upper quadrant of buttocks. This slide shows insulin storage. Must never be frozen. Direct sunlight or warmth should be avoided. Should not be used if there is change in appearance. Unused insulin should be stored in refrigerator at 4 to 8 degrees centigrade. When is used, insulin may be kept in room temperature but retain its potency if it is kept in refrigerator. In hot climate, where refrigerator is not available, cooling jars, earthenware pitcher or cool wet cloths around insulin will preserve its activity. Indication of insulin. Type 1 diabetes mellitus. In type 2 diabetes mellitus in following condition. If hemoglobin HbA1c is greater than or equal 10%. Symptomatic hyperglycemia. Postprandial glucose is more than 19.4 millimole per liter and fasting plasma glucose is more than 16.6 millimole per liter. If glycemic control is not achieved by using 3 non-insulin agents by at least 3 months. In some specific situations like acute illness, surgery, stress and emergencies, pregnancies and lactation. As an initial therapy in type 2 diabetes mellitus with severe hyperglycemia and severe metabolic decompensation like DKN, hyperglycemic hyperosmolar state. Treatment target: fasting or pre-meal blood glucose less than 4.4 to 7.2 millimole per liter. Post-meal blood glucose less than 10 millimole per liter. HbA1c less than 53 millimole per mole or 7%. Total cholesterol less than 4 millimole per liter or 150 milligram per deciliter. LDL cholesterol less than 2 millimole per liter or 75 milligram per deciliter. BMI less than 25 kg per meter square. Waist circumference in male less than 90 centimeter and in case of female 80 centimeter. Patient teaching, training and empowerment to take part in treatment is also our treatment target. Less strict control of glucose is appropriate for very young children, older people, history of severe or repeated hypoglycemia, limited life expectancy, presence of comorbid conditions. Approach to start and adjust insulin in type 2 diabetes mellitus. At first, we should start basal insulin usually with metformin and with or without other non-insulin agent. Starting dose of basal insulin is 10 units per day or 0.1 to 2 units per kg per day. We should increase the dose 10 to 15% or 2 to 4 units once to twice weekly to reach fasting blood glucose target. In case of hypoglycemia, we should determine and address the cause and decrease the dose by 4 units or 10 to 20%. If not controlled, after fasting blood glucose is reached or if the dose is greater than 0.5 unit per kg per day, we should start basal plus regimen. Basal plus regimen is adding one rapid acting insulin injection before largest meal with basal insulin. Or we can start premixed insulin twice daily. In basal plus regimen, starting dose of rapid acting insulin is 4 unit or 0.1 unit per kg per day. Dose adjustment. We can increase the dose by 1 to 2 unit or 10 to 15% once to twice weekly until self-monitoring blood glucose target is reached. In case of hypoglycemia, we should determine and address the cause and decrease the dose by 2 to 4 units or 10 to 20%. In premixed insulin therapy, starting dose. Divide the current basal dose into 2/3 at morning, 1/3 at evening, or half at morning and half at evening. We can adjust the dose by increasing 1 to 2 units or 10 to 15% once daily, once to twice weekly until self-monitoring blood glucose target is reached. In case of hypoglycemia, we should determine and address the cause and decrease the dose by 2 to 4 units or 10 to 20%. If basal plus regimen or premixed insulin therapy fail to reach glycemic control, we start basal bolus regimen. Basal bolus regimen is adding 2 or more rapid acting insulin injections before meals with basal insulin. In basal bolus regimen, starting dose of rapid acting insulin is 4 units or 0.1 unit per kg or 10% of basal dose per meal. Dose adjustment. We can adjust the dose by increasing 1 to 2 units or 10 to 15% once to twice weekly until self-monitoring blood glucose target is reached. In case of hypoglycemia, we should determine and address the cause and decrease the dose by 2 to 4 units or 10 to 20%. Insulin in chronic kidney disease. In CKD, there is increased risk of hypoglycemia while using insulin due to decreased clearance. All available insulin preparation can be used in patients with CKD. Usually, no dose adjustment is required for total daily dose of insulin if eGFR is more than 50 ml per minute. Reduction of 50% of total daily dose of insulin where eGFR is between 10 to 50 ml per minute and 75% of total daily dose for eGFR is less than 10 ml per minute may be considered irrespective of type of insulin used. Long-acting insulin or basal insulin analog should be used with reduced dose in CKD. Insulin in chronic liver disease. In CLD, insulin therapy is considered as the safest and most effective therapy. In patients with diabetes mellitus and CLD, there is increased chance of postprandial hyperglycemia and fasting hypoglycemia. Short-acting insulin are preferred. Insulin analogs may offer improved glycemic control compared to standard insulin with a low risk of nocturnal and severe hypoglycemia. Short-acting insulin analogs can be used just after meal if patient has nausea or reduced appetite. Diabetes mellitus and Ramadan. Long or intermediate acting, if patient used long or intermediate acting basal insulin, in case of once daily injection, take at iftar and reduce dose by 50 to 30%. In case of Twice daily injection. Take usual morning dose at iftar and reduce evening dose by 50% and take at Sihori. In rapid or short acting prandial or bolus insulin, take the normal dose at iftar, omit lunchtime dose and reduce Sihori dose by 20 to 50%. In premixed insulin, in case of once daily injection, take normal dose at iftar. In case of twice daily injection, take usual morning dose at iftar, reduce evening dose by 20 to 50% and take at Sihori. In case of thrice daily injection, we should omit afternoon dose and we should adjust iftar and Sihori doses. Surgery and diabetes mellitus. Perioperative insulin therapy. At perioperative period, plasma glucose target is between 6 to 10 millimole per liter. Surgical procedures is encouraged to be started at early morning. At night, before the intended procedures, regular insulin regimen should be used. At morning, during short procedures, half of intermediate or long-acting basal insulin in subcutaneous route is given and plasma glucose is monitored 30 to 60 minutes interval. If plasma glucose is above target, then correction dose with regular short-acting insulin or rapid-acting insulin is administered 4 to 6 hourly. During prolonged procedures, IV infusion of 5% dextrose plus IV short-acting regular insulin in drip is used with subcutaneous correction dose of regular short-acting insulin or rapid-acting insulin 6 hourly if needed. Fluid balance should be maintained. Postoperative management. IV insulin and fluid should be continued until patients are able to eat and drink. IV dextrose with IV insulin may drive down potassium and can result in hyponatremia. IV fluid with prolonged insulin infusion should therefore include saline and potassium supplement. In order to optimize wound healing, blood glucose should be between 6 and 8 millimole per liter. Patient controlled on oral tablets may require temporary subcutaneous insulin treatment. Side effect of insulin therapy: hypoglycemia, weight gain, peripheral edema, insulin antibodies, local allergy, lipohypertrophy or lipoatrophy at injection site. Thank you.